Take a look at this hero section design. This design isn't bad at all, but there's one thing wrong with it. See if you can notice. Individually, each element is very well designed, but composition together looks somewhat off. If I were to draw lines on the edges of each element, you'll see that elements aren't really lined up. Fixing this is quite easy. We just line things up as much as we can. A simple trick changed the same design looking from clumsy to orderly and polished. Now, if I was to draw lines on the edges, you'd see a simplistic grid with two main vertical axes. Why does aligning objects make a composition look better? It's exactly the same reason why this room looks better than this room. It's the order. We avoid chaos and seek order. And everything that is orderly, symmetric, and organized will be perceived as more beautiful than anything that is chaotic and disorderly. Now, many web developers who don't have a background in design will just drop elements on the page randomly wherever they fit. This makes a page look messy and not attractive at all. But if we take every chance to align objects with each other, then we create something that looks aesthetically more attractive. There are 6 ways you can align objects. Left alignment. This is the most natural way of aligning things because the way we read in Western languages, from left to right, it feels the most natural to our eyes to start scanning for objects from top left corner. Then you have the center alignment. This is frequently seen in web design, less in print design. If you're designing for Arabic, Hebrew, and other right-to-left languages, then most natural alignment would be right alignment, not just for text, but for other objects too. And there are 3 similar ways to align objects on the horizontal axis. Top alignment, center alignment again, but horizontal axis, and the bottom alignment. Almost all design software will have alignment action buttons, and they will use these exact icons to represent each. Figma uses these icons too, and I will show you where they are. In this example, you can see that we've aligned objects on their left edges. Alignment is the first step for a good layout. When you start lining things up, you'll see that the layout starts to form some sort of a structure. This is called the grid. It's the way of organizing elements on the page to put them in a recognizable structure. But what design really likes is the grid that is divided in equal sizes. So if we were to draw 8 equal width columns that are spaced out evenly, and we took all our objects and aligned them with these columns, then we would get a layout that feels so much more balanced and designed. And the final step in this process is to reuse the same values as much as possible. The vertical gaps between objects are all 30 pixels, but the horizontal gap is 60 pixels. The right move here would be to make that horizontal gap 30 as well. Now we have a truly balanced layout. Let's take a look at this example. There's no prominent grid on this section. The art is free-flowing and the elements in the middle aren't creating any sort of grid. However, it still looks good and doesn't look sloppy at all, because at least there is an alignment. You can break grid, but you can rarely break an alignment. We can feel the imaginary vertical line these elements are aligned with. In print design, they rarely use center alignment. However, unlike print, the website can be viewed on hundreds of different screen sizes, anywhere from a tiny smartphone to a large TV screen. Because of this, our websites have become responsive. The content can shrink or expand depending on the screen it's being viewed on. In print, the designer would mold the elements to his absolute will. Whatever is printed isn't going to change shape or size, so he would achieve an optimal result. This is why you see crazy layouts in magazines, but not in web.